We stand today at the threshold of an absolute truth, a fundamental, potent secret of achievement that, once fully internalized, begins to change the very fabric of reality around you. Take a moment to survey the world. The soaring architectures that pierce the clouds, the profound technological innovations that bridge continents, the vast personal fortunes built from sheer ambition. Before any of these became tangible objects, measurable wealth, or verifiable history, they were pure, raw, and intangible thought. Every single great creation, every magnificent outcome you see, began as a singular, persistent image in the mind of an individual who refused to let it go. This unwavering acknowledgement of the supremacy of the mind is the cornerstone of all mastery. The moment you truly grasp that your thoughts are not merely fleeting, passive mental chatter, but rather powerful, directed blueprints, you seize control over the entirety of your destiny. The world you inhabit is not a chaotic accident. It is a meticulously crafted mirror reflecting the demands and dominant thoughts of your inner self. When you merely harbor a vague, hesitant hope or a soft, wavering wish, the universe dutifully offers vague, hesitant, and uncertain results. But when you cultivate a singular, burning desire, a definite chief aim so intense, so consuming, that it dominates your waking hours and permeates your sleep, you activate a dormant, irresistible principle within your own subconscious mind. This inner engine does not possess the capacity to differentiate between possibility and present reality. It only responds with unquestioning obedience to the firm conviction you feed it. To think like this means to instantly transform abstract hope into concrete expectancy, moving decisively from the paralysis of wishing to the dynamic power of knowing. It demands you define your objective with such penetrating clarity and overwhelming emotional intensity that the entire universe is left with no alternative but to rearrange its elements to perfectly match the internal template you have already established in the unwavering sanctuary of your mind's eye. The cultivation of this powerful mental state requires a second, equally critical step: the relentless development and maintenance of unwavering faith in your self-created mental template. This profound, absolute belief must become a habit, for doubt, hesitation, and fear are the corrosive acids that instantly dissolve the most meticulously planned mental blueprint of success. To permanently banish the paralysis of doubt, we must engage in a constant, deliberate, and highly structured practice of self-direction. This practice is the mighty, often underestimated force of self-suggestion, the systematic, repetitive infusion of positive, declarative commands, delivered with emotional fire, into the fertile ground of your subconscious mind. You must speak to yourself daily, hourly, and minutely, affirming the tangible reality of the success you seek, not waiting for a single shred of physical evidence to appear. Remember this eternal law: you do not wait for the evidence to confirm your belief. Instead, your belief is the evidence, the primary cause that precedes the physical manifestation. This is not some passive, airy form of escapism or merely positive thinking. It is the most demanding form of active mental discipline, translating the invisible, intangible essence of a burning desire into its material and financial equivalent through the power of an absolute, unbreakable conviction. When you meticulously and systematically channel this enormous energy, when your definite chief aim is daily reinforced by emotionally charged affirmations, you generate a magnetic, attractive force field. That field immediately begins to draw to you the necessary people, the requisite resources, the perfect opportunities, and the specific circumstances required for achievement. The world, being fundamentally nothing more than crystallized thought waiting for direction, must, by an immutable law of the cosmos, move and accommodate the specific, focused demands of a mind that truly thinks like this. It is the inevitable operation of the law of mental equivalent, and it is the only reason why, when you finally master your internal state, the entire external world is compelled to bend to your superior will. The first and most fundamental keyword is thought/mind, which the entire philosophy rests upon. The speech asserts the absolute supremacy of the mind, declaring it the cornerstone of all mastery. Before any physical reality, be it soaring architecture, profound technological innovation, or vast personal fortune, existed, it was nothing more than pure, raw, and intangible thought. This perspective shifts the understanding of thought from passive mental chatter to a powerful, directed blueprint for destiny. The core premise is that the external world is not a chaotic accident, but a meticulously crafted mirror reflecting the demands and dominant thoughts of your inner self. If one harbors only vague hopes, the universe responds with vague results. Conversely, when an individual cultivates a singular, burning desire, or a definite chief aim, they activate an irresistible principle within the subconscious mind. This inner engine, being incapable of differentiating between possibility and present reality, responds with unquestioning obedience to the firm conviction fed to it. Therefore, the mind is not just a container for ideas. It is the primary cause of all subsequent effects. Mastery requires the individual to grasp that their thoughts are not fleeting, but potent forces that seize control over their destiny. By establishing an internal template with penetrating clarity and overwhelming emotional intensity, the individual compels the universe to rearrange its elements to perfectly match the mental image already established. This makes the conscious and systematic control of one's thoughts the critical first step toward manifesting any desired achievement. The second crucial keyword is definite chief aim, which serves as the specific, energized focus point for the power of the mind. The speech emphasizes that great creations and magnificent outcomes stem from a singular, persistent image in the mind of an individual who refused to let it go. A vague hope or a soft, wavering wish yields only vague, hesitant, and uncertain results. The definite chief aim is the antithesis of this uncertainty. It is defined as a singular, burning desire, a definite chief aim so intense, so consuming, that it dominates the individual's waking and sleeping hours. This level of intensity is necessary because it is what activates a dormant, irresistible principle within your own subconscious mind. The aim must be articulated with such penetrating clarity and overwhelming emotional intensity that the universe is left with no alternative but to rearrange its elements to perfectly match the internal template you have already established. The definite chief aim transforms abstract hope into concrete expectancy. It moves one decisively from the paralysis of wishing to the dynamic power of knowing. It provides the subconscious mind, the inner engine that responds with unquestioning obedience, with the specific, clear directive it needs to begin the process of materialization. Without this singular, unwavering target, mental energy remains dispersed and ineffective. This defined objective is the internal template that the law of mental equivalent is compelled to manifest in the external world. The third essential keyword is faith/belief, which the speech identifies as the necessary fuel and stabilizing force for the mental blueprint created by the definite chief aim. This is described as a profound, absolute belief that must become a sustained habit because doubt, hesitation, and fear are the corrosive acids that instantly dissolve the most meticulously planned mental blueprint of success. This concept of faith is not presented as a passive hope, but as the relentless development and maintenance of unwavering faith in your self-created mental template. It is the powerful state of knowing that replaces the paralysis of asterisk wishing. The text establishes a profound, counterintuitive law. The individual does not wait for the evidence to confirm their belief. Rather, the belief itself is the evidence, the primary cause that precedes the physical manifestation. This absolute conviction is what translates the invisible essence of desire into its material equivalent. To maintain this state, one must permanently banish doubt, viewing faith as a demanding form of active mental discipline. When the definite chief aim is reinforced daily by this unwavering conviction, it generates a magnetic, attractive force field. This field is what actively begins to draw the necessary people, resources, and opportunities required for achievement. Therefore, faith is the power source that makes the entire principle of the mental equivalent operational, compelling the external world to bend to your superior will. The fourth critical keyword is self-suggestion, which is introduced as the practical, highly structured method for building and maintaining the unwavering faith/belief required for success. It is the tactical tool used to combat the corrosive acids of doubt, hesitation, and fear that can sabotage the definite chief aim. This practice is identified as the mighty, often underestimated force necessary for the constant, deliberate self-direction of the mind. Self-suggestion is the systematic, repetitive infusion of positive, declarative commands delivered with emotional fire into the fertile ground of the subconscious mind. It demands that the individual speak to yourself daily, hourly, and minutely, affirming the tangible reality of the success you seek, even before a single shred of physical evidence appears. This active process is far from passive, positive thinking. It is described as the most demanding form of active mental discipline. The purpose of self-suggestion is to bridge the gap between abstract desire and concrete conviction by constantly feeding the subconscious mind with the desired reality. Since the subconscious engine responds with obedience only to firm conviction, this relentless practice ensures that the internal template of the definite chief aim is consistently reinforced and emotionally charged. When the chief aim is daily reinforced by emotionally charged affirmations, this energy generates the magnetic, attractive force field that draws the necessary resources and circumstances. Thus, self-suggestion is the methodical discipline that translates the invisible essence of desire into the material equivalent through the power of unbreakable conviction. The entire philosophy of achievement rests on the absolute supremacy of the mind and the understanding that all external reality is first manufactured internally. Every great outcome begins as a pure, raw, and intangible thought, transforming the world from a chaotic accident into a reflection of your inner demands. The secret to mastery is establishing a definite chief aim, a singular, burning desire so intense and clear that it becomes an unwavering internal template. This objective must then be fortified by absolute faith/belief. This conviction is the primary cause that precedes manifestation, meaning you do not wait for evidence to believe. Your belief is the evidence. To cultivate this unbreakable conviction, the constant, active discipline of self-suggest will is necessary. By systematically infusing the subconscious with emotionally charged, declarative commands, you banish doubt and generate a powerful magnetic force field. When your focused thought is sustained by unwavering faith and reinforced by self-suggestion, the external world, being nothing more than crystallized thought, is compelled by the immutable law of mental equivalent to rearrange itself and yield to your superior will.